Happy New Year's, everyone. 2025 is coming to a close. We're approaching 2026. And today I want to talk about something that I've noticed in the bulk of my acquaintances and the bulk of my friends, and what I've noticed in myself as the year comes to a close. You start to reflect on who you are and who you've been this year. And it's a very easy time to get lost in the dark, to feel like you're directionless and have no idea where you want to go for the New Year's. You might have been asked the question, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And you just simply reply, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I just keep making all these weird decisions, these poor decisions that don't really align with who I am, and I'm not really feeling the best right now. And if that's you, if you're feeling like you're lost in the dark, like you're in these depths of despair and you feel like you're sort of go on the downswing, I want to talk to you about two ways that I have found work for pulling myself out. And the first one is finding a philosophy that works for your life as a foundation. And I want to use an analogy really quick. I'm going to use chess, very classic analogy. And this analogy works for people who don't know about the game and for people who do. Just a little background information. I'm a university student studying classical cultures and archaeology with a focus in board game history and board game archaeology. And one of the fundamental ideas when it comes to board games or any game is the person with the most information is the person who will more than likely win the game. The person who has studied more openings in chess, who has studied or has better pattern recognition, will always beat the novice. And the reason for that is because they have great foundations. They start the game and they don't need to use as much brain power because they have the openings memorized. And when they get into a sticky situation, all they have to do is think back to the principles of the opening, the main idea of what it's trying to do. And so if we relate that to this idea of you need to have a solid philosophy, you need to go out and you need to find a philosophy that you have an affinity for. And this could even be in a religion, because what this lets you do is it lets you have a solid foundation to lean back on, so that when you come into sticky situations or you're faced with a choice and you're not sure how you should go about it, you can think about what your philosophy that you like, that you enjoy, would want you to do. And you actually see this in Christianity a lot. Christians, whenever they're in a tight bind, they ask themselves, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? And that sort of says, well, what is Christianity telling you is the best option, this philosophy that you believe in, this religion that you believe in? And this lets you not exhaust yourself or feel like you have to take an hour to think about the correct choice. You just say, well, my philosophy tells me I should probably do this, and then you do it. And so you can study Stoicism or existentialism or Jain philosophy or even religions like Christianity and Hinduism. But find a solid philosophy that works for you. Find something that you can create as your base. And when you find the philosophy that you have an affinity for, delve into it. Just get super intimate with the knowledge to where it becomes second nature to you. And that's a great first step. That's a great foundation. You are creating the opening of your chess game, so you don't have to. You're not just going to be moving random pawns and horses and rooks in any random direction and find yourself in a terrible game. So that's the first step. Find a philosophy that you have an affinity for. Delve into it and use it as a foundation for all of your decisions going forward. The second step is practice, and I know that this one gets said all the time, but practice really does make perfect. And if you have your philosophy, whenever you're approached by a decision, you need to think about what your philosophy wants you to do and then put it into practice. I really like this idea that when you pray to God or pray to the universe or try to manifest something, the universe or God doesn't provide you with the thing that you're asking for. It provides you with an opportunity to get what you want. And so let's say that you wish that you were a kinder person or that you weren't as harsh with people. Well, the universe or God will provide you with opportunities to be a kinder person, to be kinder. If you want to get out of bed in the morning, if you're like, man, I really wish I could start waking up early. Well, every morning is a new opportunity provided by the universe for you to get up early. And every day before you go to sleep is preparation time. One of the ancients said, I believe it was Heraclitus. no, it wasn't Heraclitus. One of the ancients said that, oh, maybe it was Plato, who said that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And so you can create your own luck, your own fortune by preparing for the opportunities that you will be given. And that's a great second step. I'm going to take a sip here. Got some hot chocolate. I'm going to put my glasses on. That's a great second step. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, one of the things that you need to keep in mind is the best way to handle an overwhelming situation is to take it in bite-sized chunks. So let's say that your room is dirty, for example, or your living room, or let's say you moved into a new house and you have all these boxes and they're each labeled something else, like kitchen, living room, bathroom. Well, you're not going to unpack all the boxes. You're not going to unpack all of them and litter the floor with everything and then go about moving yourself in. What you're going to do is you're going to open one box at a time. You're going to open the kitchen box first, and you're going to set out all the pans and the silverware and get all your food in the fridge, and then you'll move on to the living room. If you want to use the analogy of cleaning your room, you see this giant mess before you. You see this huge mess in front of you, and you can get overwhelmed when you look at it. You're like, whoa, where do I even start? You just choose one of the things. You choose trash, you choose laundry, you choose notebooks or pencils and pens. And so what you do is you say, okay, I'm going to do all the trash first. And you go into your room and then you pick up all the trash in your room and you put it into a garbage bag and then you throw it out. And then you come back in and the room looks a little bit nicer and you feel satisfied because you just checked something off the box. And then you can move on to laundry. And you're like, okay, let me pick up all the laundry and put in the basket. And then you do that. All the laundry's done. And when you're done putting in the basket, you turn around and you're like, whoa, this looks a lot nicer. And then you get to check that off the box and you get these little hits of dopamine. And so you have to envision who you want to be for 2026, and you have to slowly work your way to becoming that. When you have this solid idea of who you want to become, when you have this solid philosophy and you're putting into practice little by little, you're not going to instantly become this new version of yourself for 2026. It's just not going to happen. January 1st, you aren't going to wake up and, be super muscly and very well learned and very respected, and you're not going to immediately wake up early. It's something that you have to put a lot of intention into. And I think that the new year is a great time for becoming a different version of yourself. You hear this all the time, new year, new me. And a lot of people just go, it's another day. It's another day. It doesn't matter. But it really does matter because years are bookmarks for our life. The version of you, I'm betting, the version of you in 2023 is drastically different than the version of you in 2025. And so you can use the year as a way of bookmarking different versions of yourself. And so you have to think, who do I want to be in 2026? This is an opportunity for me to become different. And if you're familiar at all with Roman mythology or Greek mythology, you know that January, the new year, it comes from the name Janus, which is this two-faced god who is always reflecting on the past and the future. And the crux of New Year's is perfect for reflecting on the past and envisioning what you want to be in the future. I do this tradition every year where I have tons of photos or disposable cameras that I turn in, and I get all these photos back and I scrapbook the entire year that I've had, and I get very nostalgic. I feel very nostalgic over these photos and I relive all of these events that I've had. And that takes about 2 or 4 hours, and I do it with friends, of course. But by the time I'm done, when I've got all of that done and I've reflected on the past, I then take the rest of the pages that I have and make vision boards for the future. This is a very common tradition as well. You make a vision of what you want the future to be like, and you're mimicking Janus. You are reflecting on the past while looking towards the future. You're forgiving yourself. You're saying, okay, I'm closing this chapter. It is done. That is no longer me, and I'm going to become something else down the line. I'm going to be on this upswing. It's wonderful if you can attune yourself to that sort of spirituality. It's a wonderful and powerful thing to really feel it and really sit in it for New Year's, and wherever you may be. This video might come out January 1st, so if it is, Happy New Year's. I hope going forward you can spend today doing the same thing and preparing yourself for the person you'd like to be down the line. I think that's all I would like to say. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you're in the dark right now, use these two steps. Find a philosophy and study the heck out of it, and then put it into practice and handle it in bite-sized chunks. And if you do these things and you do them well, you will conquer. You will absolutely conquer. Like Alexander the Great, you will surprise yourself. You will greatly surprise yourself. I think that's all that I have to say. I'm going to release a video soon about what I want to accomplish for the New Year's and talk to you guys about what I'd like to do with this platform that I'm on, TikTok and YouTube. And I hope you guys will join me this New Year's. Something that I'm really interested in. I'll give you a little taste. I really want to become someone who can be a role model for younger men today. I see all of these people who practice this wrong way of becoming a man. It's too focused on your looks or becoming super wealthy and powerful and emotionless, and it just feels so wrong on so many levels. And I'd love to see more vloggers or video essayers who really show you, like, have conversations with other men and videotape it and put it online so other people can really witness how you hold a conversation properly, how you are supposed to carry yourself, and how many benefits that can give you in terms of your mental health, and the world could benefit from it. So that's a little taste. I'm going to get into it a lot more in one of my future videos, but yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I hope you guys have a good New Year's. I hope your guys' holidays were great, and I hope to see you guys in the future. So yeah, see you around. See you on the flip side.